Margaret Sandalowski wrote a famous article on qualitative description. In it, she said that researchers who do qualitative descriptive studies stay close to their data and close to the surface of the words and events. What does she mean by that? In the next two videos, I'm going to talk about the importance of statement close analysis for qualitative description. Qualitative description projects have a specific orientation in their data analysis. Sandalowski uses terms like close to the data, or surface of words, or capturing the informational content of data. Although I believe we mean the same thing, I'm going to call the orientation used in qualitative descriptions as statement close analysis. There are two ways that you can stay close to the data in your analysis. One is the level at which you read the data. The other is in terms of the results, or in our case, descriptions we aim to produce. Both senses of statement close analysis are used in qualitative description. We keep close to the data by focusing on a reasonable or common interpretation of what content participants are trying to communicate. Imagine we interviewed nurses working in an emergency department. One of our participants says, "The reason patients have to wait so long at night is that there are not enough nurses working those shifts." A statement close analysis of this data focuses on the content participants seem most likely to want to communicate. For example, we could read this data as, the participant reports that a barrier to seeing patients quicker is insufficient nursing staff on night shifts. Because it is focused on a common interpretation, it should be a reading of the data which is understandable to participants and other stakeholders knowledgeable about the topic. For this reason, as I said in the previous video, qualitative description is a methodological approach that works better when researchers, participants, and the users of research all likely share some frame of reference. Most people interacting with a modern healthcare system, including nurses working in a shift-scheduled work environment, are likely clear on what the participant is trying to say. As said in a previous video, the qualitative description works well for projects that do not aim to determine people's real subjective experiences. This condition may sound a bit strange. Why are we engaging with participants if we don't want to know how they really feel? Of course, qualitative description projects want to accurately portray what participants want to express, but these projects do not aim to take that analysis further. Phenomenology would be a more appropriate methodological approach for delving into how a subject really experiences an event. Where a qualitative description aims to produce an accurate description of a situation, such a description is likely just the starting point for a phenomenological study. In a phenomenological study, the researcher may try to analyze the description produced from the perspective of the different people involved. For example, the nurse, patient, healthcare manager. They may try to imagine the emotions participants are feeling, or consider the impacts if aspects of the situation changed. They may try to reconstruct the situation using frameworks from other fields like psychology, or focus on one important experiential concept related to the situation. For example, occupational stress related to insufficient resources. Data can clearly be analyzed in other ways. For example, a researcher may try to move beyond the surface level of meaning of the data to discover the real perspective, meaning, or significance of what participants are trying to say. This type of analysis may reveal meanings and significances participants themselves may not be initially aware of, or produce descriptions that participants may not fully agree with or understand. You can analyze the data from a particular theoretical perspective. For example, your aim may be to look at the economic implications of what is reported, so that the data is analyzed in terms of the impositions on workers and their families that come from requiring nurses to work at night. You could try to dig further, perhaps by analyzing the speed at which a participant said things, trying to determine if they felt uncomfortable or nervous while they were presenting. Qualitative description mostly avoids these other types of analysis, staying close to what the participant is likely trying to communicate. For example, if a nurse says that a barrier to faster care is insufficient staffing, within a qualitative description project, the research aims can be met by reporting that barrier as one of its findings. In other words, Qualitative description is suitable for projects the aims of which make it acceptable to take statements at close to their face value. In the next video, I'll describe the other sense that qualitative descriptions use statement close analysis. Thanks for watching.